Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 209 of Fans of Power. I'm going to do it right this week. I'm Nathan Kennedy, here with Joe Amato, and Joe will get to the people in the chat room, but we got a few things going on. I got a box to open up that's been sitting here since Friday afternoon. I'm curious to see what is in this box. And
Me too.
And then we're going to move on to, issue 3 of Masters of the Multiverse. Good
yeah, so
stuff.
I figured, okay, yeah, like you said, we'd start with something good, some of the fan mail, and then we'll get to the interesting comic, and then we'll get to the chat room later. But how we always do it, might as well first start off with the chat room for people that I see here right now, and then we'll go to you and what you got. But Zentron, Michael Purvis, Aaron Voorhees, Christopher Dahlberg, JSP, Grimbot, Adam Gabbard, David Clark, Papa Hud 69, Lio Convoy. Yeah, you come for the blood. You're going to be hearing that in a bit. So that's everybody that I've seen so far. Thank you for joining us. But we'll start with something better. We'll start good, and then we'll go into insanity and then get to the fans. But what you got, Nathan? Because I'm curious to see this stuff, too.
Well, Joe messaged me, when was this, early last week? It's like, hey, someone's going to send you something. Someone's sending you something. I'm like, can you tell me who it is? No. Okay. So when this arrived, I had 2 other packages that showed up. And I was like, well, I recognize these 2. Don't know what the hell this is. So I messaged Joe, and I'm like, this is the package, right? And he's like, yeah, that's it. So this comes from Motu Matt, correct?
Yes.
Oh. he's so just, yes. All right.
Yes. Hey, and Zen Brown. Thank you for joining us. I had to get Zen Brown. He's always there at the beginning.
I didn't even at least slice this open, so if I cut myself live on air, then that'll be interesting.
It always makes for good, viewing, and I'm catching this on a 30-second delay too, so I'm not going to have the immediate response. I'm actually going to be catching it with everybody here in the chat room because you remember we can't see each other no more until.
I mean, you'll be able to hear it.
Yeah.
You just won't be able to see it. All right. I've cut it open. I haven't. Let's see, can I? Nope. Scoot this way. There we go. Get used to the camera stuff. Oh, wow. All right. There we go. Masters of the WWE Universe figures.
Gotta see what you got. And you gotta rip open a mint on card figure. See? You gotta say it out loud. You gotta.
Oh, I gotta rip open a mock.
Yeah, as everybody says. But yeah, you got all 4. I can't wait to see these things and what they look like. Especially the Warrior. I want to see what he looks like out of that package in person. I've never seen him, so I want to see it like live on a video.
All right. Well, is that? I'm assuming this is the one you want me to open, right?
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior one first. Yeah, and
right.
and everybody noticed that I got the Modulok mask back,
Yeah.
and Lacey Dean's ready to see you open this shit too.
All right. Well, there we go. There's Ultimate Warrior. Thank you, Motu Matt.
That was really cool of him.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
like I said,
yeah, no, it's a really cool thing, and I'll go ahead and just put them in the ring that I got. And honestly,
yeah, because isn't it weird? Wait, quick. Oh, go ahead, because I was just gonna say it was weird. Last week you were talking about, hey, I bought the ring, and I kept thinking, oh shit, he's gonna be getting figures. He doesn't know it. But go ahead. You were saying honestly something.
No, honestly, I think with Sting, I'll probably just keep him plain and not put, because the claws to me honestly look ridiculous. I think with Warrior here.
Put him on. With
Warrior here, I'll probably take off that chest piece just because. But Triple H, honestly, this is the one that definitely caught my eye. That if I were to immediately throw down money seeing them in stores, it would be Triple H, because I think this one right here is actually the best look of all of them. But yeah, I'll go ahead and crack.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Open. I mean, me with the Warrior, I'm a super Warrior fan because Carlos asked me, he said, "Where are mine?" I know I told everybody online, hey, I was going to get them, but I haven't got them. I mean, I'll be saving up money. I'll be getting those suckers eventually. But no, I don't have any Carlos, because Carlos is always sharing those cool-ass pictures he has of them. So that's why I figured maybe once you see them in person, it's like, I know they look cool as shit. So
no, I mean, they do look awesome. I think I just, in my head, too, I'm like, well, they could have done certain aspects of each character a little bit better. All right. Oh man, I hate that they do that. They put like the little.
And the little insert thing that looks like a little comic, is that just like a two-sided thing? Does it have a couple pages? I couldn't remember. I know people posted. I just don't remember.
Well, I'll show him off out of package first, and then I'll show you
Okay.
what's with the comic here. But oh yeah,
All right.
See
Some people in their areas haven't seen them, like Spider-Rat said, still hasn't seen these things or the Mega Constructs in his area. So
Yeah.
I guess they haven't hit everywhere yet, but they should.
There we go. I mean, like, it's not like focusing on him as good. There we go. I mean, the detail on him is really great, and the coloring on him is great and everything. And we got like the articulation there, and the arm and the hand swivels and everything, and with the. I'm assuming the legs got him too, but they're a little harder to bend because the knee pads.
Yeah, like me, I'm gonna be honest. I can see it already. I can see that he must have his Ultimate Warrior, face paint on his chest. I mean, I'm gonna be taking the harness off of mine. If I ever get one.
The harness is definitely coming off of this one.
Because they look cool as just being wrestlers themselves. Yeah. I know that, like you said, it was a crossover thing. They wanted to get some of the accessories of classics and different type of stuff with these, but I might just do them as just the wrestlers themselves, I think.
Well, yeah, with Warrior staying, with Finn Balor, I'm assuming that this armor here comes off. I imagine that it does, but I mean with Finn Balor too, like with that armor, it does. I'd probably keep that on him, honestly. But with Sting, I'm not gonna do the claws because that to me that looks ridiculous. But the Triple H one is the best. I like the Warrior here, and the little. I'll show this off. There's the front, and then on the back you get like you can collect, just like you guys are used to. But disappointingly enough, you just open it up, and it's basically just here's a little bio form, and then like here's just a little bit. And that's it. There's not any more.
Still a cool little thing, though. I mean, it's still a nice little. Especially cool. The art. The art's beautiful.
Yeah, I just wish they could have tacked in a couple more pages in here.
Yeah, well, I think it's how we always want a lot more, but I think it's pretty cool for what they did, especially since it's not gonna like have actual mini comics. Because what would they do? I mean, it would have been cool. Don't get me wrong, but I still think they look pretty cool in what they did with what they got there. Well, especially it's a nice little price. It's a good price.
Yeah. Well, it is and it isn't because it's $14.88. It's a little on the steep side. I think a $9.88 price point would have been like a really. I think more people. Would
as long as people keep buying them because they've been buying them. I mean, they are buying them like crazy. I'll be honest. Out of all of them, the only one I'd probably keep with the armor is Triple H, just because I've never cared for him as a wrestler, and I think he looks cool with that Skull King armor.
I totally agree with you. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and why don't I just open them all up and just show them off to everybody?
Yeah, just rip them up quick. Show, see what. I said, might as well start in a little bit of a positive note.
There's Finn Balor. I kind of like the cover of that. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more of the same. Just open it up. Bio on this side. Here's just like a little bit right there, which neat enough.
And it does give you a taste at least of when the origins finally come out. I mean, when they finally come out towards right before Christmas of Masters of the Universe. At least you're seeing how these figures are kind of designed and the extra little articulation, but keeping the vintage style look. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. So at least get you ready. And plus, to think that they would take the risk of just creating the new line, you wonder, okay, how would Origins sell? So this is a way of them getting the most out of their money is by making these WWE figures, because you're going to hopefully attract He-Man fans, and if you don't, you're going to be attracting, of course, kids, because kids still love playing with WWE toys. So if they see those, like, hey, cool, they got armor,
Yeah, very, very true.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if that light doesn't really help too much, but here's Finn Balor.
Jason Kelly and Dan Rice. Hey. Oh, yeah, let's see.
Yeah, this does, you just lift up right here, and that'll pop off, and you can take off that armor if you want to, but it looks pretty good with that on there. That actually works.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Joe, you're going to have to kind of keep talking a little bit more.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, and like I said, people have been popping up. Motu Matt. Hey, Motu Matt just popped up, so got here late. Did Nathan like it?
Yeah. No, it's cool. Like, I saw them in stores, and it's one thing to see the pictures that we all saw, but to actually have them in hand or see them on the peg, and especially here when you take them out and look at them, like, they look good. They look good. Some of their ideas with them, I'm just like, whatever. Like the Rey Mysterio Stratos, I think that's perfectly fine. I like the idea of many faces with the New Day. I think that's kind of brilliant, but like, the John Cena one's kind of uninspired. The Roman Reigns one's pretty uninspired.
I admit it. No, you're right. I completely agree, and that's the only way I like probably Stratos is with Rey Mysterio. You hear that, Dan Rice? You can pass that off to Philip. But yeah, that's the only time I was like, hey, I kind of like Stratos because it's Rey Mysterio. It's kind of cool crossover. Otherwise, the figure sucks and the character sucks. But whatever. I'm not bringing anything down. I'm not being negative about Stratos.
Yeah, we got Finn Balor's tassels right there, which honestly, I think the figure itself probably looks better without all the junk hanging off of them like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that that's.
Off if I
do what?
If I ever get them, I'm going to be just like I said, all three of them would be no accessories, and Triple H would be the only one that I would display with his outfit. The other ones, though, I just want them to be displayed as the wrestler look, probably.
Oh, all right. So this cover is pretty weak. There's Sting just fighting like a giant red scorpion. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Fletcher came in here to give me shit, just to let you know, Robert Fletcher, he likes to call me Joe Amo. I ain't going to finish it. Instead of Amato, and you know how you say M-O-T-U out loud, he calls me Amo, so you get it.
Joe Amotu, hey.
Oh, shit. Don't let that be something that catches on in the community.
Joe Amotu.
Because it's almost the same damn letters, just switching two up. Oh, Jesus.
Amotu, Yo Joe, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and while you're still opening, like I said, I'll just at least keep interacting with the chat room because Eric Heyman popped up, said watching Packers, and you at the same time, he says happy to see your Modulac mask back. And he says,
Eric Heyman, you're still watching that game? It didn't look like much of a game last time I.
Yeah, they were getting destroyed.
Yeah,
that was bad.
All right, we got Sting here. Looks all
and
right.
You always loved Sting. As his own, as a wrestler, was he one of your favorites?
Yeah,
I thought he was.
I was always more of a WCW guy over WWF, WWE. But I like the Crow Sting was cool. Honestly, I think that if they would have done the Surfer Sting look, I think that would have been cooler for this line. To be honest with you.
Maybe they wouldn't have known what to do with it, though, gimmick-wise, because, I don't know, Sting, they're figuring, hey, there's a scorpion tail, that's why they implemented that gimmick there, but maybe the Surfer Sting, I don't know what they would have did to Masters-wise, what kind of accessories, weapons, or what they would have put in, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'm just looking at it from, like, a colorful standpoint, because you look at a lot of the vintage Masters, there's just, way more color to it, and not many. It's just like, oh, well, here's black and white. It's a vibrant color that sticks out.
Hey, Grimbot said, hey, Joe, can you make a custom of Tyler out of these guys? I could make a custom of Tyler out of this style bodies, these figures. I could do that.
Just use John Cena's head.
That would piss him off. He hates some Cena, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm not gonna attempt because they got it all wrapped up right here. I'll mess with that later. But yeah, this accessory. Oh wait. Mr. Claw right here. Just kind of, I don't like that one. I don't like the accessories with that Sting. Now the Sting just by himself, I can dig that. I can dig that.
Yeah.
All right. Last not least, my favorite.
Yeah, the only one you're going to keep probably the accessories on is this guy coming up here. You'll definitely have to get pictures of this later, put them up on the Fans of Power's Facebook page and your personal page. Got to see what these things.
Yeah, I mean, almost dropped him. Even the cover of this comic is the best out of all of them. I think it was Axel Jimenez.
I think he's the one that did those, and I hope somebody can definitely confirm that in the chat room.
If I'm not mistaken,
I think he did.
I think he was the one to do that. Because I think I remember talking to Tyler about it, and Tyler's like, I can't believe he's doing it for that line. which he's
like, I'm Axel.
Which I'm sure I'll message Tyler and tell him what was in the box, and he'll be like, oh man, because he was just hoping that these would just sit on the shelf and collect dust.
So I don't want that shit to sell. But Bat Bomb joined us in the chat room.
Yeah, this is easily the coolest one. It's got the cape on the back right there. Yeah, that's just.
It's cool. I mean, you are getting a lot,
Oh, there we go. His helmet comes off pretty easy. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Unfortunately. No, that's fine. But like you said, you are getting a lot with those. Some good accessories. You get that cool little mini comic cover with a quick little bio and stuff. It's like it's still worth the money. They're still worth the money. It's a good price. But yeah, he's the only one that would stay in that outfit. I can tell right there. It is
Well, I mean,
definitely.
like even helmet off, I got to give him credit. Like the face sculpt for him is actually pretty good. If that'll
It's good, but he's always just seemed
focus
so
on.
bland to me. Him and John Cena as figures, as for themselves, they're just
Yeah.
so white bread
No. Yeah.
boring.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that. That wasn't when I said white bread. I wasn't saying it to make them, you know, sound racist or something like they're white people. Or
What?
did that
No.
sound? I don't know what white
No.
bread is. It's like
No. Don't,
it's not
Joe.
boring.
Just keep going with your thought.
Yeah, exactly. Just boring. They're just plain boring looking people, and yeah, they need their accessories. They definitely need that badly. I think the other thing is, I mean, you look at the other three. You got the Warrior, you got Finn Balor, and you got Sting. They all have makeup. They already look like kind of superheroes, so that definitely helps them, I guess.
Yeah. No. It does. And having that on Triple H, the mask definitely helps. We got his sledgehammer there. That's pretty cool accessory
Okay,
too.
cool.
All right. There we go. Thank you, Motu Matt. And I also want to give a shout out to Michael Purvis, who sent me a package with 5 vintage figures that I didn't have. I got a Man at Arms, a Blade, a Mantana, an Evil Lyn, and a Snout Spout, and gave me a helmet for Battle Cat. So thank you for sending me that. I've already got that displayed upstairs, and hopefully none of these guys fall over while we do the rest of the show.
Okay. All right, man. Well, that's cool. I'm glad he sent them to you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. And yeah, that's why when last week, again, when you were showing the ring, and I kept thinking, oh, man, if only I had figures. And I was like, hey, you think you have a gift figures? You're like, I don't know. I was like, well, that's all it takes is if you maybe get one in your hands you like. You're like, I'm still not quite sure. I was like, God damn it, I can't tell him what's coming. So I'm just trying to see what I can say to work it in there. But I'm glad you did end up enjoying them, and they will look
Yeah.
cool in your ring and make some good display pictures.
Yeah, I
But
definitely appreciate it. So now we get to the portion of the show that everybody I think is looking forward to.
Sweet Jesus. We're gonna get going here. Yeah, I'll wait till you put it up there so I can see on the 30-second delay, because I ain't gonna read it bit by bit. Kind of give you the gist of what's happening on every page, but just to let you know, obviously issue 1, issue 2, not a fan of them. But I was trying to be cool about it. But this is the first time I've been pissed looking at one of the comics. It irritated me. There's a lot of things that just got me going, and like I said again, I'll wait till you get to the pages. But this is Masters of the Multiverse, issue 3, and if you remember, I'll wait till we get the pages first.
Okay.
I'll wait till I see them, because
All right,
I just want to keep myself calm and collected.
I'll go ahead and move that over now.
Yeah, and I'm on the delay, so I'm with the fans.
I think the first thing that I want to bring up, and I don't know if Joe, you noticed this as well, or if I was just maybe already forgetting about the other 2 issues that we've read, but I feel like the art just sort of took a bit of a hit in this issue. Everything just looks different and honestly kind of worse.
And that's the thing that I was going to ask, because I think from what it showed on the front cover, there's one additional artist or somebody that's working on this compared to the last issue. And it's not like I'd say it took a hit, but it confused me, which we will be getting to probably on page 3. But of course, here we go. Starts off, and we see all the Cosmic Enforcers, and and I'm glad Grimbot noticed it too, is you don't see Filmation Zodak anywhere there. You look at the other ones, you look at the ones here, and at least if they were trying to draw him, it doesn't look like him. But I don't see Filmation Zodak. But we had to see the Mighty Spectre. Are you serious? You had to bring that pile of shit into this comic? It's not enough that he was hated in the toy line. There might be a couple people say, I liked him. Almost everybody hated that sucker. I hate time travel. I hate that he's in it. But of course, bam, he has to pop up. And they're sitting there threatening, talking about to Anti-Attorney He-Man that, we're going to have to put a stop to you. And of course, he gives his look, is that cocky look, like, obviously, let's see what you can do. Go to the next page. The next page is showing Hordak, King Hiss, Shadow Weaver. And this is in the Mike Young Productions cartoon universe of Masters of the Universe, which I will get to something, because there's something that it's talking about how you said with the art, which when we hit page 3, I'll bring up. But of course, I got a knock here, and Mighty Spectre, bam, he's getting knocked into the swirl. He's like, not here. Like this is supposed to be the worst universe for him. I don't know. But what were your thoughts when you seen the first 2 pages, and then page 3 is when I'll start another rant?
Just already, in my mind, I'm already prepping myself for, all right, we're in the MYP universe. Is it just going to be more of the same that we got in the first two issues? And those first couple pages, I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Let's see what's actually going to happen once we get to the meat of what they're trying to do in this issue. Because to me, that first part is just a throwaway thing, and you kind of get a lot of this. It's like, oh, hey, look, we put this in here. We did our research. Did you though? It's kind of it's the vibe I got from that. Just immediate. I mean, yeah, honestly, through the whole book, but yeah, I've already switched to page 3 and 4 here, so you can go ahead and start going into it.
Yeah, because it does start a lot of confusion. First, I hate when I see something and I don't know what's going on. Please, Nathan and anybody in the chat room too, because this is when I would like them to interact with something I do have to ask. All right, King Hiss, like, hey, you ain't going to do some shit on me. Here he's going to jump at Anti-Attorney He-Man, and bam, he throws King Hiss into fucking what? What is that? Where did this metal mess come from? I hate when they do this in a comic. It's like how Larry Houston, he always said when he was working on the mini comics, you could look at the pictures of each page of the vintage mini comics he worked on, and you didn't have to have dialogue, and you could understand what's going on in the story. This, not only, I mean, of course, this has dialogue to try to, of course, help, just like everyone, but it's like with the dialogue and even the pictures, can you tell me what the fuck that metal mess is? Why do you put some shit in there you don't know what's going on? Tell me, was that shown anywhere else, and did anybody in the chat room see where that came from?
Well, and that's the problem that I have with this book, period, and we'll get into it also later on, is just... I'm gonna fight him, and then bam, it's over, and now it's even more confusing because it is exactly like, what is that? I mean, I can kind of piece it into my head of what I think it might be. It's probably
too busy and messy. Yeah. But that's what I'm getting at is, why wouldn't you show this in a page in the background so we can understand the context? Like, okay, he's getting thrown into mess. Great. It's like they're trying to throw too much shit in there, but within that, it's just making it look too busy and doesn't make sense. I hate shit that just looks like it's everywhere, all over the place. So I'm glad you said you didn't know it. I can't see the chat room right now because I have this filmed the whole screen, so I'm sure they probably don't know where the hell that was at in this whole book either, because it wasn't shown.
Yeah, we're not getting anything in there, but on the next page, hey, we get some more Tapper's He-Man humor. Isn't it great?
We do. We get to the Tapper's He-Man humor, but we also get to here's my next part, which makes me think, was there somebody else that took over? Because I like, if you're going to be doing these comics, and let's say there is somebody that's the artist that's, consistent through each issue, and even if it's not, try to have a consistent look, because how issue 2 ended, remember, if you've seen it, they had the Mike Young production white face of Skeletor that was on that last page, but they had, of course, the shitty, Disco Skeletor outfit.
Yeah.
There's no white face. Now it's looking like the toy. And you're going to see it later in this issue where it looks like they basically took that toy and just drew right from reference, because it doesn't look like the cartoon version. It looks like the toy version. So what are we doing? It's like, can you stay consistent of something? Why is it jumping all over? And of course, you're right. Then we get the Tapper's reference. We get him where, Trapjaw is saying something about, we find kids in Eternals still clinging to their He-Man dolls, hoping he'll make a comeback someday. And I'm almost wondering, it's like, was that like a dig at us fans who collect our figures, hoping that we get He-Man to come back someday in toys or cartoon? I couldn't catch it. I was like, am I reading too much into that? Are they mocking the fans too? But of course, when they said that about, the games or points or something, they're like, hey, it's my turn. And here comes Tapper's with this little shit thing there. But go ahead to you, and then you flip the next one.
I think once I hit that part with just more of the Tapper's He-Man, I'm like, ugh, how many more pages are left? Because I had to think too, like, not only did I have to read this, but I had to, like, put the pictures here into OBS so when we do the show, everybody can see it. And I'm just like, it's just, the art is so inconsistent just in this book alone.
Yeah, look at Skeletor there. Yeah. He doesn't look like the other page. It's like, keep some level to where we can at least say, okay, even though we hate that Disco Skeletor look, can he at least look the same face-wise? Why is it changing in every damn page? But they're bringing up too many references, too many idols and artifacts and things, and, not every He-Man fan is going to know what the hell they're talking about. Yes. It's like they're doing too much. It's like, relax, dial it back a little, and at least try to say one thing, not multiple things that are only just going to have you just more and more confused. Especially like when it got to the part, like, I didn't even know, like, in one panel who was actually talking in a reference. Like when it came to Beast Man, when he's holding Keldor walking off to the side, and he was like, not tonight, Lynn. I'm like, okay, was that Keldor talking to Evil Lynn? Was it supposed to be Beast Man? It's like, I think his mouth's being covered. I don't even know. It just annoys the piss out of me.
Hey, there's I think 2 or 3 more issues I have with this issue alone as we go through. But I mean, here's Beastman saying like, oh, you smell like him, but you're not him. And then we got Tappers and them, they're all trapped. And this is when we start getting into more and more of the references here soon that you were describing about. You don't have to keep tossing out these things. It's like, all right, yeah, we get it. You know what that is, but you still don't.
Or at least Googled it or looked at the compendium book to like, so let's see how much shit I can throw in here. It's like, I don't know. I'm not saying they don't have a knowledge of Masters. I'm sure they do, but it seems like a lot of it was just pulling and reaching. And just, like I said, just design-wise, you can already tell they're confused with stuff. Just that stupid-ass Disco Skeletor, it says it all. He changes constantly. Wait till you get later, because if you didn't think he looked like the toy towards the beginning, he really looks like the toy towards the end, but looks nothing like the toy there. It's like, I was so pissed off how it started. It took me out of the mood. Because like I said, I don't know. I don't want to say I was trying to enjoy it because I already was pissed off or didn't enjoy issue 1 and 2, but this one just got me irritated. Yeah. And when it gets to later in the comic, that's when I'm going to probably blow up. So, but yeah, I'll pass it back to you. I got to take a breath.
All right, we'll go to the next section here where they go ahead and toss Tappers and our 87 movie He-Man in here with Teela, and then it's just it's more and more of the same, and especially it's not here on this page, but we'll get into it too with the He-Man. He-Men have had a soft spot for Teela's, and we'll get more into that with Tappers and kind of his breaking the fourth wall moment, what it felt like to me anyway. It's like, why would you even just draw it like that? But the issue that I have here is if you guys look on the right over here, there's just this shitload of
talk about a drawn out text,
just word vomit all right here, where it's like your typical villain just giving this long speech. But the main problem that I have with it, and Grim too was happy enough to share this with me before I even got a chance to read it, so I could procure these images. But
I bet he was happy.
These 3 word bubbles that just like go over the Havoc staff. I'm just sitting there like, why even have it drawn that way if you're just going to cover everything up with a word bubble?
It just rambled. It was like me. Like how I talk 100 miles an hour on this podcast. See, that works for spoken words, but when I'm reading, it's like, I don't want to read all the shit Joe Amato would say in a fucking comic. So It's like, I'm looking at this, it's like on and on and on. It's like, okay, I couldn't, beat He-Man. So instead of doing this, I took this part and kept fusing with my Havoc staff. It's like, I was just so.
I mean, it's almost like right here they should have switched places. Like he should be like sitting in the floor, and he should be sitting in the chair, almost with like a storybook. Seeing, oh, you see, once upon a time, I was constantly in search of new and better ways to gain power. It's like, it's just so. It was totally unnecessary. I think by this point, everyone that's reading the book kind of understands what's going on here. Like, why do you need to go into extreme detail to explain his plot? And
as you'll see later on, I'm thinking once Skeletor, finally attained the powers of Grayskull, now he's in it. Remember, he got rid of He-Man and everybody and all the Masters of the Universe, all the heroic warriors, and that's what turned him into Disco Skeletor. I'm assuming that's their rationale, because as you'll see later in the comic, he's going to look different. So I was like, oh, so this is your way of explaining how he looked like Disco Skeletor. It's like, no, nobody liked him. Couldn't you made just a unique, different design, anything? But you had to take that. It's like, let's reference the thing that when they weren't selling when the figures were overstocked with so many damn variants, like, hey, let's repaint the original Skeletor and just put him out there. It'll still say Skeletor, but it'll look like this. And everybody hated it. But some people said, hey, it's at least a variant. They like to collect it. But he's not really an enjoyed variant or color beyond just people wanting to attain him and Blood Skeletor. I don't know.
See,
It's just so dumb to add this.
I'm just gonna go with the backstory of he's like, you see, at one point I was really, really into Elvis, and then the Bee Gees came along, and I just went on this entire other path and became Disco Skeletor.
Yeah, something.
I don't know.
Yeah, but and plus he don't have a cape, so it's like, okay, now you're adding a cape. The figure don't have a cape. Please turn to the next page. This page is annoying the hell out of me. God, it looks just like the figure. Nothing else did, and half a part it did, and when I get to the last page, I'm gonna explode. I know I am. I'm trying to be calm. I know I'm gonna explode on that last fucking page.
So we get some more dialogue. Tappers is reminiscing, and then you get that turn to all of us. I wish I could have told my Tila the truth. Showed her who I really was before Anti-He-Man took her away forever.
It's a damn game. That's what I can't get over. It's like, you'd think that if you wanted to do something like that, have a He-Man that everybody could recognize and know, and there's still people that still, like you said, think it's Mega Constructs, it's Pop He-Man. They don't understand what this is, but it's from a stupid-ass video game. Nobody cares about him, so when you're having this moment that could possibly be somewhat emotional and you feel for this guy, you can't feel for this fucking video game character. It's stupid. Nobody likes him. So it's like, when you feel sad for him, it's like, who cares? Yeah. I don't care about this guy. Nobody cares about him. And then they're getting ready for the army. Here comes all the shit because now Hordak's and becoming with King Hiss and Anti-Attorney He-Man better get ready.
Well, I guess we missed the whole part that Disco Skeletor has a disco ball force field covering Castle Grayskull currently, and he's that someone has breached the shield because Anti-Attorney He-Man has the ability to do that, and Hordak and King Hiss were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because Anti-Attorney He-Man's working with him, at least to get in there, because all he cares is about getting the power sword from the He-Man. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, if you want to go ahead for these guys, go ahead, but go to the next.
Yeah. So here we go, and I kind of missed this because we get everything else is meat, and then I guess meat gets thrown in there. The trap jaw. What is that? Was it part?
Okay, good.
Where did that come from? Where did that come from? It makes no sense.
Exactly. It's like, okay, I get the reference, the thing about meat, but then there is meat, but I'm like, okay, what? It's just a stupid thing. Again, if you were to have no dialogue and you tried to look and understand what the fuck is going on in the story, you'd be like, okay, what? And even with the dialogue, you're like, okay, I see the meat reference, but still, what? So it made no sense to me either, but okay, bam, then they swerve over, and then you see that there's He-Man, and all of them together, they're going to be working with fucking Skeletor to stop off Hordak, King Hiss, Anti-Attorney He-Man. As you can see, we're not reading everything. You guys can always read for yourself. I'm just giving you bits of each page because it's, like I said, there's just no heart. They finally try to start getting some action, but with all this confusion of what's going on, it's like, you just don't care. And then, of course, they throw in that Spike Ore. I don't know if that's based off of any of the early sketches of what maybe he could have looked like in toy form for the 2000X line or some shit. I couldn't remember. Honestly, I don't know, but that's the only because Spike Ore was not in the cartoon, and obviously Spike Ore was not made in figure form, and he wasn't even made in Staction form for that 2000X line.
I mean, it looks okay. It fits in with the rest of the looks from MYP.
Sure.
Yeah, so that works, but don't get the meat reference. We get some more of Skeletor going in and, oh, hey, let me drop the Shroud Stone on you. Hey, we know what we're doing, everybody. Let you know that He-Man's still around, but not really, but sort of. Anyway, we'll
yeah, like he's been he kind of almost like made him into a ghost to where he could always see what was going on, but he could. A specter, yeah. So now he's going to bring him back. Figure, okay, if somebody's going to do this, well, now I'll bring back He-Man. If anybody can maybe stop and help, I'll bring the bastard back. So I'll wait till you get to next page.
Yeah.
I wish I could be happy about a comic. I wish I could. And this doesn't make me was it a troll? It's like I'm hating on it. I can hate on it. If people like it, they can like it. But I can hate on this.
Oh yeah, and I guess we should have prefaced that before we really started digging into this. If you guys enjoy this series so
Sure.
far, if you like this issue, all the power to you. Congratulations. I'm glad that you found
Good.
enjoyment in it. But
Yeah.
yeah, we get He-Man. He's all bearded up and wearing his snake
Uh-huh.
armor. So
Uh-huh.
that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the art was just getting worse through this issue.
Oh no. I was so unenthused and just not invested as it was going on more and more. One page I liked, but I shouldn't have had to like it because the person shouldn't have been in this comic from the beginning, which you'll see when you get to this part. But there's one part I was like, hey, at least that's good, but he still shouldn't have been there. But okay, yeah, you can see what Skeletor's doing. He doesn't even write like Keldor, and if Keldor gets his, Havoc staff, boom, blast back, Skeletor into the next panel.
Oh boy, this is all right. Here we go.
All right, I got to see it too because I'm on a 30-second delay.
We're in it now. Moduloc is there, just tossed off to the side.
That's some bullshit, Moduloc. Well, I still got to root for him no matter what.
So
but,
we have Shadow Weaver kind of getting in He-Man's head. It's like, oh, you need to kill Skeletor, and that brings us to a bittersweet moment because Tapper's He-Man is gone and dead, stabbed right through his silly chest. I'm surprised that there weren't like coins that fell out or have like some bonus score or something. But what doesn't make any sense? What makes no sense? No sense at all. We see the sword come out of He-Man's hands, right? We see Tapper's dive at Skeletor. Anti-Eternia He-Man grabs the sword and then somehow stabs Tapper's He-Man. Like, the logistics of that make zero sense.
He's one quick sumbitch, I guess. That's it, huh? Because, yeah, I can see what you mean. It's like, what happened? But, yeah, I guess it was quick. Maybe they figured, hey, no sense of watching him stand up. We just get the gist of it. But if anything, you're right. Coin should have came out. He should have turned darkened. He should have went pixelated. Just get him out of the damn thing. But then we couldn't get any of the dialogue that was going to happen. But you're going to see now what's going on. Go ahead.
No, I'm still just confused as to how this happened. It's almost like He-Man would have to have been almost underneath Tapper's while he's diving at Skeletor. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't even know. But he's going to use the anti-He-Man is going to use the sword, which will lead to a part in this page where another thing I'll have to ask you.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to ask the fans that are in the chat room. Because, again, it's like, am I not catching it? I know I'm not the brightest bulb, but I was like, am I really that fucking stupid? Or I don't know what's happening. Am I missing something? But I'll wait till I can see the pages because it still hasn't popped up. Wait, is this the page? Let me think. Yeah, okay, well, here's the page. Okay, obviously, bam. Skeletor is going to bring back, the Masters to help. He's going to get rid of Hordak and King Hiss, where he says, go to hell where you belong, so I might trade you in and bring the Masters back from exile. So bam, brings them back. You hear Murderer, and you seen Anti-Attorney He-Man. I thought he was going to get warped out of there. We go to the next page where you see all the He-Men there saying face justice. But then you see this part in the middle of page 2. You see Anti-Attorney He-Man's face, and then you see somebody standing there. The dark word bubbles in this entire mini comic have been for Anti-Attorney He-Man.
Right.
In the middle of that comic is that snake armor He-Man. It's like, what am I missing? Did they fuck up and draw something wrong? Or this is what I mean. This is what I'm trying to say, Nathan. If there was no dialogue bubbles there, you would be wondering what in the hell is going on. And when you have the dialogue bubbles that still don't help, so did I miss something? Chat room, Nathan, doesn't it look like snake armor He-Man?
Yeah, that's definitely snake armor He-Man. I guess they needed to just turn that little point to the left a little bit more. And Grim 2 also brings up a good question. If He-Man aged during this state, why didn't the rest of these guys age at all? I guess
I don't know unless they're.
I guess Duncan's like, yeah, I still got to shave and keep looking good. I don't.
Yeah, maybe they do, and maybe He-Man doesn't give a crap. I don't know. Grim, I wish we knew. We don't know what's going on. Like I said, I get it up from this page, and they try to have a sad moment with that Tapper's Grayskull He-Man dying. You're like, who cares? I do not care. But when it
Well,
now it's gonna.
well. Also, did I miss something too? Was there a point here? Like, is he thinking that this is his Tila, or did something happen to Tila to make you think that she was dead? I didn't see.
Well, I thought he said that Anti-Attorney He-Man got rid of all of Attila and all his people in his world, so that's why I guess he's saying what he wants to say to at least Attila before he dies. Not that it matters, because it's just fucking stupid anyways, but now it's going to be the 3, 2, 1, go. I'm sorry, but I don't care. I'm going to go here. Right when I see the page, I'm going to go.
Oh, man. Look at this, everybody. I want to just say it now. I don't want to. I'll just let Joe roll into it because people will already people will see the pages before you get to say what you're gonna say. But I'll let you go first with this.
Don't give a shit about that left page. But here we go, leading into. Whew, I'm actually getting kind of like shook up because I'm so pissed. I don't want to go too nuts. All right, we must find out where Anti-He-Man will spread his evil next. Boom. He's like, yes, the power is strong here. I'm close, ever closer. What cursed hell is this? And, he has like a shocked look. This, people, is him obviously he is now in the Filmation universe of Masters of the Universe. And they have to fucking put Crackers the Clown.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all. Yeah, because that's what Masters is about, is this fucker here. Nobody cares about Crackers. He's a joke. Now, this is my thought. They're obviously saying that's what Masters...
Hey, Joe, he's a clown if he's doing his
job
he's a clown. Right.
And so is this whole obvious Filmation He-Man, because that's how they're putting it out. Are you guys going to say the thing, whether people were fans of that cartoon or not, if that cartoon never happened, Masters of the Universe wouldn't be the global success that it was. You wouldn't have had the toys keep continuing. You wouldn't have had all the Macy's Days parades and floats and a movie and all that if it wasn't for Filmation. The Filmation of the first season was more serious. When parents groups got involved saying it was Satanism and worship and devil and all that, and they got to tone it back, then yes, they made it a little more lighthearted. But it definitely wasn't silly. And if they're going to portray He-Man like that in this next issue in the whole thing, that's a fucking disrespect to this whole entire property. Because again, if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have it. And what are we going to have? We're going to have a scene in the next issue where He-Man says, "Are you hungry, Anti-Attorney He-Man? How about a knuckle sandwich?" with corny one-liners. That's what I'm afraid they're going to do. And they better not fucking kill him off, because this Anti-Attorney He-Man, I don't know if he's from the anti-world of Filmation. I doubt it. He's not supposed to be. But he's going to be facing what you can call is the Superman equivalent of He-Man. This is the He-Man that can breathe in outer space, can move a fucking moon and planet. He can move his hands so fast he can turn sand into glass. He can create tornadoes, has ice breath and wind. This is a Superman He-Man. He will fuck up Anti-Attorney He-Man in a second. Now, yeah, I'm gonna say it. That's what's pissing me off. So if he fucking kills him, I'll lose it. Go ahead, because now I'm starting to get too worked up. That pisses me off. Go.
A motto unleashed, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think Joe's ever been this pissed off on the show before.
I am so pissed because I know what they're gonna do, and that page showed it there. But I'm gonna let it go to you because I'm actually getting emotional. I'm getting so fucking upset. But go on.
Joe, I don't really know how to follow that. You know that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna make it out to be a joke because think about it with He-Man in the. What have you seen like in the last 10, 15 years? Goofy car commercials with the figures, the thing with He-Man and Skeletor having like a dance-off or whatever that was. I don't even remember anymore.
Uh-huh.
I imagine that's the direction that's going to take. They're gonna treat it like it's a joke, like it's corny, that nobody cares about that anymore, and that's the furthest thing from the truth because this podcast and the people in the chat room are proof of that. So,
you can flick it back to us now because I don't even want to see that goddamn page no more. And I'm glad they didn't see me because my hands were everywhere. They heard it, but my hands were everywhere. I was like animated like a goddamn puppeteer doing some shit with a doll. But everybody, I just looked at what they said. I got Fix-A-List. I don't even know. There's a bunch of people that joined. We missed all you. Oh God, you guys can join in with questions now because that's that part of the show. But yeah, God damn, I'm just
Uh,
trying to catch up with some of the comments now.
Well, speaking of which, you guys go ahead and toss your questions in there. I'm gonna read some of the comments that we had on last week's video, if I can get
Yeah,
to
you
it.
do that.
I should have had this pulled up. I wasn't prepped for that part. I wasn't thinking about it.
I'll try to catch while you're doing that. Let me see what some of the people said if I can catch a couple before I did it. Let me see. Grimbot said the perspective looks like it was drawn by a clown. And they're laughing. Papa Hud said Joe's ranting, guys. Christopher Dahlberg said Joe's on fire. Papa Hud said, hey, Filmation, He-Man quips were funny. Christopher Dahlberg says, how the fuck does that happen? Joe's fired up. Dan Rice said Joe's fired up. Very true, Joe from Zen Brown. Daniel Maynard said Joe's about to have stroke out. Papa Hud said Joe's gonna have a stroke. Say it, Joe. Sportman said, "Say it, Joe." Truth. Spider Rat said Joe's channeling his inner Tyler.
Yeah, kind of felt that way.
Yeah, and then I couldn't pronounce. Fix Lewis said, "Whoa, the violence." And Zen Brown said, "Joe, unleash the fury." Yeah, and Lyle Convoy said Tim Seeley wrote this. Let me see. JSP says something else. If it weren't for the success of the cartoon, you also don't have She-Ra. And that's a great point. That's another good point, JSP. You're right. If it wasn't for this cartoon that they want to fucking mock, you wouldn't have She-Ra either. So, yeah.
Which
And
I kind of wonder if She-Ra's gonna work her way into this somehow.
I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they're going to.
And I'm still kind of standing by. I think Wonder Bread He-Man's gonna be the one to bring this all down.
Yeah, you know what? And here's my little thing that I want to say one thing last about this comic. There are two He-Men that I'd love to see if they're smart enough to write in. Two He-Men that are strong. One is a lot stronger than the other, but neither of them have a sword to where they transform by the power of Grayskull to turn into He-Man. Let's see if they're clever enough to write these two He-Men into the comic. One, I'm sure they might know. Another, I bet you just they overlooked. And I'm curious to see, will they write these two in that should be able to help towards the end? They better keep Filmation He-Man alive in this next issue. He better go all the way to the end. He better be the one that does something. But we'll see. But there's two. We'll see. I just don't. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of the comments that we got on last week's video. We had a comment from Blue-Haired Lawyer that says, just my opinion. But if a Motu, sorry, Joe, his words there. No, actually, in parentheses, sorry, Joe. Movie ever gets made, I've always thought the perfect tone would be a cross between Brendan Fraser's Mummy and The Princess Bride. A perfect mixture of adventure, humor, danger, and fun. Just my opinion.
Yep, and we appreciate your opinion. Like I said, that's and everybody, and it's interesting. It'd be different. The movie's never going to happen, but yeah, I do like hearing that. So
I think just I kind of get what Blue-Haired Lawyer's trying to say. Princess Bride is a fantastic movie. I think a dash of humor in there is good. I think Princess Bride has a little too much humor in it for it to work in that property, but I think just a dash, have that adventure action, make it fun. Totally agree with you on that. Descendants of Grayskull. Dukes of Hazzard was huge at the time in the UK, so yeehaw was a well-used word. I never seen this until now, but we were always fascinated with the American South. Cowboys were sadly portrayed as the heroes all the time. And if you guys,
and that's when he made reference when we were talking about Rio Blast and his the Skrullos story. So, and thank you for that.
Which is kind of funny that the people over there would be. I get it. Would be fascinated with the American Southern accent. I guess it's sort of like how we're fascinated with Australian accents or something. I don't know. Drawing by hand said, cultures. What issue was this UK comic? Which Joe replied in the to this comment with issue number 65. I don't remember this issue with Rio Blast in it. Had many of the UK comic books, Horde Prime, and this book looks good. It'd be great if Dark Horse did bring out the UK comic stories to hardcover. So
it would be fantastic. Yeah,
also here, can't wait to get the William Stout movie figures. I know a lot of us got them in the mail this week. I got mine. They're right over here on the shelf. It's a good. I didn't take a picture to get it here to show you guys, but I dig them. The He-Man is a little shiny, but not enough that it bothers me too much. Everybody else looks fantastic. It's nice to have them all here together.
They did a great job.
But now
I don't have them, but they did do a great job. And for those real quick, just quickly, even for you, Nathan, if you just have a little matte spray that you could buy for people that want to get rid of that glossy look, quick little, or even if you wanted, it's just quick. You can get rid of that matte look within seconds, and get rid of the glossy look and give them a matte look with a
Right.
matte spray real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. Let's get over here to some of the stuff. Adam Gabbert said Joe has nice stuff displayed at his home, and I know Nathan does too, but I recognize he has Ghostbuster stuff behind him because I'm a fan for the Ghostbusters as well. He sees the Stay Puft that I have on there. Yeah, I got the vintage Ghostbusters. Two of the Ecto ones, the Firehouse, all of that is packed away at my parents', unfortunately. But I do have the Diamond Select figures that they did from the animated series. I want to say like, what was it, mid last year, early last year. Got those down there, and then I have the giant NECA Stay Puft that came out. What was that? That may have been like mid 2000s. So yeah,
I actually don't know. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Love me some Ghostbusters. I actually kind of rearranged some of that stuff. Still got my Karate Kid guys and the loyal subjects there, but put some Gremlins there. Got my Rambo figures right there, and then the Toxic Crusaders. And I got my Jaws figure right
Got a
there.
lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely got a lot.
Yeah.
And what's next? Because my chat is all. I've been trying to catch up. So if you can get what's next, I'm still trying to catch up in the chat room to where we're at.
Here, because I thought I saw another one too.
Because mine jumped. I didn't do the live chat. I know you were reading from Adam Gabbert.
Here's one from Carlos. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name because I don't want to mess that up. Q&A, what will Joe's first custom be with the WWE Masters figures?
You know, I don't know. I guess I got to get them in hands first. First, I got to eventually buy a set for myself and then some extras. But I don't know how different the master, because I know it sounds bizarre, but the Masters of the Universe Origin figures, I already have people saying when those come out what they want done with those. But I don't know until I'd hold all these WWE ones in hand if there's slight designs differences on the boots and stuff. I'd have to talk with customers because I already got some horror inquiries to be done. So but that's for the Masters line, but I guess I could probably use WWE Origins ones too to do them, because I have a Jason Voorhees is one of the first ups, and then I had a Pennywise from the 90s, not the new one. Okay. So those at least were, but so those would be cool to make. But yeah, I can't wait to start working with them because I do love the body designs, at least from what I've seen online, and they'll be fun. And then once I hold them, you know how my head already starts spinning immediately. I'll probably think of things right when I touch them.
You'll start making Smurf figures and post them online and somewhere. Tyler's blood pressure will start to rise.
Yeah, he always flipped out when I would take a Smurf and turn into a He-Man thing. But let's see, I think I seen a Spider-Rat. Spider-Rat said they need to have Super 7 He-Man show up and his legs immediately fall off. Wait, is he saying for the comic? That would be kind of mean. He shows up, bam, in the comic, and then the legs fall off. It's just a quick throwaway thing to action figures.
Well, but honestly, this is going to sound horrible, but what if they did a thing? It's like, well, yeah, we're waiting on Super 7 He-Man. And it cuts to them, and
that's fucked up, but
they're still waiting months and months later. Yeah.
It's fucked up. Only hilarious thing you could do.
Hey,
or vintage He-Man and the rubber leg bands popped off as he showed up as a corrosion.
It took a while to get these movie figures, but they look fantastic. I'm very happy with them. So thank you, Super 7, for making that happen.
All right, Daniel Maynard said Joe might need to seek some medical attention. He's about to stroke out. Sort of said I miss Tyler. It's probably because all this insanity going on. He's supposed to be a double dose of it. Let's see. Christopher Dahlberg said at Grimm 2, Barbarian He-Man, Eternia Prime. Oh, I must have missed a lot of the stuff all the way up the top. Oh, and Grimbot said 2 separate licenses keep She-Ra safe from this, so She-Ra might not be able to pop up.
Okay. That's fair.
Christopher Dahlberg said it still hasn't watched Netflix She-Ra. Daniel Maynard said She-Ra make you wonder if she will bail them out, but as he just said, probably wouldn't. DJ Tags just said, oh, he was laughing at me. Probably when I lost my shit. I have missed so many
Well,
things.
I got you. I got you covered, Joe. Zentron said,
Good,
obviously,
good.
I don't need to ask if you saw my Mumra WIP. I won't. Whip. So, which of the classic Filmation Motu characters do you see as a joke, Orko excluded?
Well, I mean, obviously the fucking crackers that they just showed there. But I mean,
I get that. That would be. There's not too many
but I
more
never
aside
looked
from
at the.
that, right?
No, I didn't. Like I said, I've never looked at the characters in that cartoon as a joke. I enjoyed each one, and there's many that we never received in toy form, but the cartoon to me never was a joke. I mean, if you want to pick on some of the little, shit kids or something that were in the cartoon that you didn't care about, but there was never really a joke character. Even like, when Montork would pop up or Driel, they weren't even jokes to me. Hell, Orko was never even a joke to me because he's the most powerful wizard in Trala, but I know they add him there just, for kids and fun to add something and a little lightheartedness, but Cringer, even some people maybe would get annoyed. Cringer, he was never. No, I actually never seen any of them as a joke. Just that fucking crackers that they had to throw in there, and they knew that would make people go nuts. If that's just a taste of what we're. No, I can't start this shit again. We'll have to wait till next.
I kind of think that was Zentron's point with the question, was try to get you back and fired up again. Sportimus asked if Mattel or Super 7 would make one more wave of figures, what 4 or 6 would you want? Specify Filmation, 2000X movie, etc. I think having the movie figures now, I would like to have Attila and a Man at Arms and maybe a couple of those guards, just to kind of like make that complete. I guess in terms of anything else, they've kind of mostly made almost everything, right? I mean, I think it would be cool.
Well, there's still some very good key characters. I mean, I would want from Filmation, I would want the Filmation Garn, and I would want Malaktha. In mini comics, I would love that Garn because that's a unique Garn too. And if they were to make another thing from Filmation, I'd love to see Dragoon. So those are 4 characters off the top of my head I would love to see in figure form. I mean, both Garns are completely different looking. And just to have Malaktha, because he was in so many episodes, he was another key character. And then Dragoon is a cool ass kind of beast / looking character. So I'd love to see those 4. I'd love to see them 4.
And I think if they were to just go ahead and make 2000X figures, re-envisioned and bigger, in classics form, that would be fantastic for anybody that really enjoyed that series. Because there's a lot of people out there that have like 2000X over Filmation and everything else. So it would be good for that line to get some more love.
It would, and it's not like blasphemy, but I'd still love to see that style, whether it be... it's the stactions hit it over the top. I mean, first, the figures themselves are cool. Some of the earlier figures, they have the hunchback thing, which a lot of people weren't a fan of. But what you got to respect is they're all different sculpts, basically, and designs. Unlike using the vintage line, same buck, classic, same buck. These things had a lot of creativity in it. It definitely got to let the horsemen showcase their skills and talents and seeing unique sculpts for almost every character. And when the stactions hit, those were awesome. So how cool would it be if they were to do a special sub-exclusive line to continue the staction, to get characters like Scareglow, Ninjor, Modulok, Spikor, some of the other characters we never had? I'd piss my pants. I would love to see a staction type thing continue. If they could just do some cool thing like that. Would it ever happen? No, but it would be awesome.
It'll just be more He-Mans and Skeletors. That's usually the case. Spider Rat said, one thing that always confused me as a kid, why was Stay Puft a good guy in the cartoon? Because you gotta sell toys. That's basically it. It's what it all boils down to, the almighty buck. Now, today, by today's standards, they could do it differently because kids don't buy toys anymore. It's just us walking down the toy aisle and picking stuff up.
It's the truth, isn't it?
I mean, it is. Sorry. I there's like, it kind of looks like a little spot here on the top of Sting's head. It's like they kind of missed painting it just a tad. Either that or it's like some glue that they've used that got on there and just sort of hardened.
Could you show up to the camera so I could see? I'm curious if that's like you said, if it was a defect or if that meant to be. Of course, this will be a 30-second delay when I see it.
I don't know if you'll actually if it'll focus on there. You might not even be able to see it. There we go. Looks like it's just like hard glue or something.
Yeah, you might not want to pick at it. If you pick at it, might.
Yeah, I didn't pick at it too much, so I'm not gonna mess that.
Yeah,
up
just leave it. And it's not really even noticeable too much especially once he's standing and displaying, and yeah, you won't see it. But well, let's see if I missed anything. Grimbot says Stay Puft wasn't really good, more neutral than anything.
Yeah,
Spider Rat said a New Adventures He-Man that looks like the cartoon would be cool.
yeah.
Agreed, and especially to get a Prince Adam. I'm sorry, let me zoom. I did a fuck up like they did in the comics. See, an Adam from the New Adventures, not Prince Adam, an Adam in his kind of like garb where he looks like you said, a merchant, or he looks like he came out of a Bible cartoon. But yeah, that would be cool. Let's see, Stay Puft or Slimer. JSP says something about Stay Puft or Slimer, because I know Slimer was.
Well, I gotta go Slimer, honestly. Like Slimer in the movies, even though it's just sort of brief, and he's one of those characters in the animated series that kind of just tie it all together. Some people probably think it's too much, but always liked Slimer.
All right, and Christopher Dahlberg, I think he was trying to answer what I was saying when I was talking about the two characters or the two He-Men that should show up if they're clever enough to write them in. And he's one of them. Yeah, he wrote one of them in there correctly, but no, not King Grayskull. He's not the other. There's another. They're gonna miss it. I know they're gonna miss it because they're not gonna research it properly, and they're gonna miss this key detail. So trust me, it's gonna happen. Let me see. Fedmon said Stay Puft was friends with Slimer. That's why. Zen Brown says the bald spot on your Sting.
I mean,
DJ
hey,
Tags.
it's just accurate now because Sting has a bald spot because he got old.
Aw, don't go picking on real people in real life. DJ Tag says, can't wait to build the castle and make animations. And then Dahlberg saying, isn't it Stay Puft? You're right. It is with a T, right? Puffed.
It's Stay Puft, but a lot of people just say Stay Puff.
It took me years. I was like mind blown where there was a scene where I think it was in Dana's apartment that there was marshmallows. I was like, oh my god, this is Stay Puft marshmallows. I never noticed that. And that was like I think 2 years ago. The movie's been out since '84. It's like, how did I ever miss the Stay Puft marshmallows in that movie? Do you know the scene I'm talking about? I think it's like in the apartment and it's right there on the counter. You see Stay Puft marshmallows.
Yeah, it's called foreshadowing, Joe.
Shut up! I've never noticed the damn marshmallows.
I went ahead and took that armor off of Ultimate Warrior while you were sitting and talking. So yeah, the paint is definitely there on his chest. Looks cool. I like him better this way without that.
Yeah, that's how I'll do it if I ever get that sumbitch. All right, Sportimus said, if Origins Masters of the Universe line succeeds, how would you want Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain? Classics or something different? Oh, I mean, it'll definitely not be as big as the classics versions. They would, there's something about this line. I don't know if it was asked, but unlike the classics line, to where they said they did not add action features because, well, a couple reasons. They first said, adults don't want action features, and the other thing is it'd be too costly, especially if they're just going to be doing this, online line. It's exclusive, so they can't add the features. But if it's hitting retail, I'd like to see some action features return. I think that was some of the coolest stuff from the vintage line. And if that being said, let's say they were to make a Origin style Snake Mountain. I'd love for kids to experience that damn microphone again. That was just the coolest damn thing as a kid. I loved doing that with Snake Mountain and having that voice changer. But have some little light up, some cool little things like the 2000X Castle Grayskull. I mean, it's a horrible fucking design in the cartoon and toy wise, but that had some like features where I didn't know if you knew about it. The first Castle Grayskull they made, they had it to where it interacted with the figure's foot, and when you'd go to the jaw bridge, it would activate sounds or open the jaw bridge. But later on, I think when they re-released that castle, they took away the electronics. But yeah, it's some cool electronic features. Let kids have fun, because if you're going to be wanting to bring kids in too, you got to dazzle them. You got to do something cool. So that'd be kind of cool. But I like that question, Sportimus.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to add. Not, you don't have to go overboard with it, but add a few things that would make it, I think, warrant someone wanting to rebuy a Castle Grayskull again.
Yeah, because are you really going to... I mean, most people are already going to say, I'm not going to be able to have another one. That'd be the vintage one. It'll be the classics one. Hell, there's even people that have that Mega Constructs one, which is a big sucker to build. It's like a fourth?
Yeah, DJ Tags is actually getting that in the mail this week.
And that's going to be a cool thing. I want to see how long it takes them to build that thing, because that looks like, damn, that looked like it'd take a long time. But I'm stupid, so it'd probably take me forever. Other people might be able to have that done in 2 days. But
Ooh.
that'd be cool to see.
The wrist articulation on this thing is pretty loose.
Oh, it is? Oh, be
Yeah.
careful with it.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm going to. I was just kind of messing around with
I don't know if they
everybody.
sell Stay Puffed marshmallows, but Fedmon said I should eat a bag of them on the show. If they sold those for
Well,
any.
I think that now it's just like a gimmick. Like if you go to like if you have an
Oh, do
FYE,
they?
you could probably they probably have at some point. Like how Funko's done with the cereal. I'm sure that there's probably
Yeah.
some sort of like Stay Puffed
Um,
marshmallows
that
or
makes it.
something that you can
Yeah,
go
that
to
does
FYE
make
and get.
sense. All right, Spider Rat said they could shrink down Classics Grayskull to a vintage size. Yeah, but definitely add something to it to make it just a little more special. Christopher Dahlberg always wanted Buzzsaw Hordak. So yeah, because if they were ever to do an Origins version of him, I like the gimmicks. You got to have something. I don't want to just have it displayed on there or a Buzzsaw or remove that. That's what pisses. See, that's the thing. Real quick, the Masters of the WWE Universe, some of the upcoming figures like Macho Man and stuff looks like he has a battle armor with chest plates, but they're using the classic stuff to do that. So I was like, please don't do that. If you're to make a Origins version of the battle armor ones, don't make it just put on plates. I want to see that fucking thing. You hit it and the
Yeah.
damage spins. That's a cool feature.
Well,
It made him one of the coolest variants.
someone said it earlier that they think it would be cooler if Macho Man was like King Randor instead. It'd just be like the Macho King. I think
Macho King.
that would work better
Yeah.
than what they were trying to
I like
do.
it. I like the Macho King. Yeah, definitely. Spider Rat said he has a soft spot for the 2000X Castle Grayskull because my son loved it. No, I can understand that. Like I said, and that's the good thing. He just said it. His son loved it. It did have a lot of action features, so it could be fun for kids. And that's what I mean. So give something that's a combination of adults could look at that thing and damn, that's cool display, and also some cool action features. Because just aesthetically, to look at that, well, of course, I'm thinking of the cartoon. I hated the look of of Castle Grayskull in the cartoon for the Mike Young productions, and I just wasn't a fan. But I did buy it, and I have it down over here. But I'm glad you said it. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and DJ Tag said sword opening the jaw bridge. So yeah, I think that's what it might have did in for that toy. Zentron said he's indifferent with the 2000X Castle Grayskull. Yeah, and I can understand. Dahlberg said, so how come Skeletor never tried going through Castle Grayskull's eye sockets? Just bypass the jaw bridge. Well, think about that. Think about in Filmation episodes where, I think it was Lizard Man just got thrown right into the window. It's like, I always thought, but I'd be a smart ass, so I'd leave that alone. Because I love doing that to Tyler, being a smart ass about things like, why didn't they just go right in here? Why didn't they just do this? But it would take away the fun from the cartoon. But I get
Joe,
you.
you're just thinking about it too much.
Yeah, he would. He would say that. Let's see. DJ Tag says 12-inch high, 9-inch wide. I don't know if he's talking about. Is that the Mega Constructs dimensions on Grayskull? I wasn't sure.
Yes. I think maybe.
Okay.
Probably.
Adam Gabbert said undead figures for classics would be cool. That'd be different. They did a little sideline of some undead figures. People love doing undead stuff. That would be cool. Zen Brown said the 2000X Castle was a space saver. For some. Yeah, mine, it's on the shelf, but that's about it.
I was going to say,
Dahlberg
is it just
said,
a space saver in the fact that you have it and you just put it back in the box and stored it away somewhere?
oh, no, I didn't put it back in the box. It's down on the shelf over there. It's displayed. I have it displayed. It's still okay. Let me see. Dahlberg said he could have just used a Conquered Grayskull with a ladder. Yeah, I guess so if you use that logic. JSB said, on another note, guys, a friend and I are doing a stop motion pro wrestling show using action figures. Wild guess who two of those figures are. Well, I'm going to say Sting and the Ultimate Warrior. Those are my two.
I'm going to go with a customized version of Joe Amotu and John Cena, Tyler Baker.
Thank you. And unfortunately, when I did say that earlier after Fletcher was talking about that, a bunch of people were starting to say finish that word. I'm not going to say it, but they're calling it that. So people were saying
let's make it a thing. Let's make it a thing. When we fly out to PowerCon, since Val has been kind enough to purchase our airplane tickets and our way in, and he's paying for our hotel. Last I heard, when he was throwing down the budget for PowerCon, he said he's going to make a banner, or that I want him to make a banner where it says Joe a Motu on it because that's what we have to do when we go to PowerCon because Val is paying for the flight and the hotel and the tickets to get in. That's what I've been told. So we'll see how that goes.
Both are being a prick to me. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. God damn it. Could you imagine that? Joe Emotion? All right, we didn't finish. Spider-Rat
We're
said,
making it a thing. You guys take the reins on this. Don't let me down.
Spider-Rat. Yeah, Spider-Rat said, my daughter plays with the 2000X Grayskull now. She knows the vintage is daddy's and she can't play with it. See? So there you go. So it's good to see you playing with it. DJ Tag says the castle will go great with the WWE Lego ring I already have. So that's what's cool. I like other things when they can offer stuff for everybody to enjoy. Walmart seems to be carrying the Mega Constructs Masters again. That's what Sportimus said. DJ Tag said Mega Constructs.
Keep a lookout for those.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Mega Constructs version does have the sword feature. Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. So it has the jawbridge thing. Spider-Rat says, still don't own a single classic figure. Never liked them. Always struck me as Marvel Legends cosplaying as Masters of the Universe.
Ooh.
Well, okay. Oh, there you
go. That's a hot take, but that's your opinion. So right on.
Yep. Fedmon's finding the sets at Walmart. Only bought one of each, the rest for others. So that's cool because I know a lot of people.
Hey, look at that! Look at you being a decent human being and not going on eBay and trying to sell them for twice the price. Look at you.
Yep. Oh man, let me see. I was just trying to catch again because my thing jumps. Dahlberg says I need to wear my Modulok mask all weekend. Oh, if I ever went, you're not going to see my face. I'd have to have something specially made though, like almost like a luchador mask of this.
It's not a question of if it's happening. Like I said, he's paid for our flight, paid for our hotel. Like we still got 7 months to go, and Val's already he's paid our way. So that's what I've heard anyway.
You guys you're really poking a bear at Joe. Lizzie, Daniel Maynard said the way they make play sets now, it might just be the front of the Castle Grayskull. It won't fold out.
Yeah, totally, totally right. Totally right. They make stuff on the cheap these days.
Yep. And Sportimus says, I so want to meet you, Nathan, and Joe at PowerCon, but how would I find Joe without his mask on? Well, that's the thing. If I was not to wear the mask, it's like nobody would know me. I couldn't even show myself to Nathan. So I'd have to wear this. And if somebody touched me, then there'd be a problem. You can't touch my face. That'd be invading Joe's space. Then we'd have an issue. So, all right, man.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say wrap it up because we're already boring Zentron. Zentron fell asleep. So yeah, Joe, go ahead and wrap this up.
All right, so, well, guys, it was a blast again having you here. We love having you here each week. We hope you enjoyed this episode, seeing what Nathan got and ranting about that damn comic. But if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you can always get notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day.
Mike Awesome wrestled Taz on April 14th, 2000 for the ECW Championship. Why is this such a weird, odd occurrence?
Was that the first time WWE got ECW or acquired it? Or no, that doesn't sound right. Fuck, no, that didn't even make sense. What am I talking about? I don't know. Why was it an odd occurrence?
Because Mike Awesome was the ECW champion at the time and showed up on WCW Nitro to attack Kevin Nash. Like, this was just a thing that no one really knew that he was going to do that. So then at this house show that they had, Mike Awesome dropped the belt to WWF contracted wrestler Taz. So it's kind of weird. An ECW event with a WCW contracted wrestler and a WWF contracted wrestler wrestling for the ECW championship.
Wow, you say contracted back and forth so many times, my mind just went. I was like, wow. JSP knew what you were talking about. He knew it.
Yep.
So,
there we go.
I didn't have a clue. See you guys next time.